Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to FreeCodeCamp, and today we're gonna be doing the review JavaScript Fundamentals by building a Gradebook app. So this is a mini project that will review fundamental JavaScript fundamentals like functions, variables, conditionals, and more. So let's start it. So for step one, it says the teacher has finished grading all the students' tests and needs your help to calculate the average score of the class. So we're gonna complete the getAverage function, which takes an array of the test scores and returns the average score. So in order to get the average, we're going to be summing all of the scores and dividing it by the total number of scores. So the tips we get is to loop and iterate over the scores array to add up all the scores. And then we could use the length property to get the total number of scores. So we have a function over here, getAverage, with the parameter of scores, which gives us all the scores. So if I do console.log scores, let's see, scores, we do get an array of scores. So it says first we will loop. So let me write a comment. Loop over scores to get all scores. And then we are going to use the length property. Use length property to get the total number of scores. So let's start off with the first step, or the first loop over all the scores to get all the scores. In order to do this, we're gonna create a for loop. So we could first do let sum equal to 0, and this will be our initial sum, which will be 0. And under this, we could do for let I equal to 0, while I is less than the scores length, dot length, and we're gonna iterate by 1. And then we could do sum, we're gonna add to the sum with the addition operator, we're gonna add every score just like this at that index. So now if I console log sum, we do get the output of all the scores. So next, what we are going to do is we're going to use the length property to get the total number of scores. So we could do const, let's just get the average, to get average. So now we could do something like this. We could do const average is equal to the sum. So the sum that is calculating this total score. Sum, and we're going to divide. Since we already have all the scores, now we're going to get the total number of scores. Sum divided by scores dot length, just like this. And under here, we could just do return average. And we do get 85.4. So next, it says now teacher needs to help convert the student scores to a letter grade. So we're going to complete the getGrade function that takes in the number of score as a parameter, and the function should return a string representing a letter grade based on the scores over here. So 100 will be A++, 90 to 99 will be A, 80 to 89 will be B, and then the rest we could see right here. So it says, here's the tips. It says to remember that we learned about conditional statements, if, else if, and else. And then remember that we also learned about the comparison operators. So this is pretty straightforward. So what we could do over here is if score is equal to 100, if scores what I forgot over here is my parentheses. So if score is equal to 100, then we're gonna return a string a plus plus. Oops, can't have, okay, and then we can have a else if my score is greater than equal to 80 or 90, and or actually we have the or operator by having the two brackets, straight brackets, or score is less than or equal to 99, then we're going to return an A, just like this. And we can just keep doing this until we're done. So we do else if my score is greater than or equal to 80. Over here instead of, so the second else, so if I did score is equal to greater than or equal to 80, it should be 90. Now if it's equal to 80, it's greater than or equal to 80, or score is less than or equal to 89, then we will return, we're going to return a B. Then else if my score is greater than or equal to 70, or score is less than or equal to 79, then we will return a C. Now two more for D and F, so we're going to do else if score is greater than or equal to 60, or score is less than or equal to 69, then we're going to return a D. And then last one we have return, else return. So if it's anything else, it will be an F. So we're going to return F, just like this. Oops. We'll just have it else return else return F. Your get grade should return B if the score is between 80 and 89. Oh, since I have it, this shouldn't be a or, this should be a and. Now it's saying that if score is greater than or equal to 90 and the score is less than or equal to 99, then it will return A instead of a or, just like this. Now we should get the appropriate numbers. So 96 will give us a A, 82 will give us a B, 56 will give us a F. So now step 3, it does say that the teachers really help you with the program you have created so far, but now they want an easy way to check if the students have passing grade, a grade that is anything but an F. So we're going to complete the function has passing grade, then return the score, student score as a parameter, and our function should return true if the statement if the student has a passing grade and false if they do not. So we're going to use the get grade function to get the student grades, then check if the students is passing or not. So where's our has passing grade function? or I mean, oh, let's see. So we're gonna use the get grade function check to get the student's grade. Then for each, I'm gonna check if it's passing or not. So this is our get grade. So this will tell us if the grade is anything but a F. That takes student scores as a parameter. And the function return true. So if so over here we could have just a if statement. So we could return we could do if score greater than or equal to 60, then we could return true, else return false. Just like this. It did say to use the get grade function to get the student's grades, but I feel like an if statement it's a little easier. So now this is just saying that if the score is greater than or equal to 60, which is being passed by the parameter, then we're going to return true, also return false. So now that the teacher has all the information they need, they would be able to message to the students with the result. So we're going to complete the student message function with the total score and student score for parameters. The function should return a string representing the message to the students. So if the student passed the course, they should have the following string. So we have class name. Uh, so they should have class average, and then average goes here, and then our grade will go here. And this is if the student fails. So we're going to replace the average goes here with the average of the total scores. And we're going to replace the grade goes here with the student grade. So we're going to use the get average function to get the score average. And we're going to use the get grade function to get the student grade. Then use the string concatenating plus to build the message. So what we could do, so let's see what we could do here. So what we could do here is first we're gonna get the average function to get the class average. So we could do maybe a variable named class average is equal to our function get average. Let's see if we spelled that right. So we have the get average right here, and then we're gonna pass the get average as gonna pass in the total scores over here, and then we're gonna get the student grade. So we could do const variable called const student grade, which is gonna be equal to get grade function, which will return us the A through F string. and then we could pass this as student score, just like this. Then we're going to check if the student has passed or failed. In order to do this, we have a function over here that has passing grade. So now we're gonna make another variable called const passed is equal to has passing grade, and we're gonna pass in the student score, just like this. And now we're gonna create our message. So we're gonna do a let message is equal, so we could do something like, so we could do let message is equal to our template literals. And then in here we're gonna have, since they both start with class average, we could just do class average. So class average, then we're gonna have the average goes here. They both have the passing and failed message both have the same message that will go here. So we can have class average with the colon. Then we're gonna have our so we can put our function over here. We're gonna do our class average function uh, variable that we just created, just like this. Now this will give us the class average. Next, we will have your grade, and they both have your grade. And the only difference between these two is the passing one will have you pass the course, and then the failing one would say you failed the course. So now we can have a period, your grade, and now we'll input the student grade, which we already created a variable for, and it's taken from the getGrade function that we created before. So student grade, just like this. Now this will give us the student grade. So now this is what we need, the message we need for both. But the only difference, like I said, was one says you fail the course and one says you pass the course. So now we could just do a string concatenating. So now we could do an if statement saying that if passed, so we already have has passing grade. So if passed, then we could return a message plus equals, which will add whatever you put here to the end of this class average. And we should add a period in the back over here with the space bar. So we do have this space and period. Now we're gonna type either you fail the course or pass the course. So now if passed, we're gonna add a string saying you passed the course, just like this, with a period ending it, exactly the same. Else, we're going to have a message plus equals you failed the course, just like this. Now if we do your function call of student message should return the following. Oh, we forgot to return the message down here, just like this. Since now we'll see the output. Now if I do console log, It's just console log instead of return. So we do console.log message. Oops. So let's go back to the project, step 4. I do have to type it all over again, but yeah, that was it for the mini course that we had over here, building the Gradebook app. This really does help you think. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Be sure to subscribe and like the video if you find it helpful. Thank you.